Inland Empire, final feature film of David Lynch, if we don't count Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces, which I think we shouldn't. This stars Laura Dern, Jeremy Irons, Justin Theroux, and in many ways it is an echo of ideas explored in Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive. Dern plays Nikki, an actress who accepts a role in the film which in Hollywood, which there's a legend around the film that it's cursed. The script was being developed once before, the lead actors ended up dying, and it remained unfinished. She begins shooting the movie, and as she does so, the lines between her reality and the reality of her character begin to blur, and she becomes lost in a sort of multi-layered dream, or rather nightmare reality, struggling to orient herself and remember which is which. So listen, I'm not a fan of David Lynch. I always struggle with his work because I think a lot of it is made with the intention to experience and feel things without necessarily understanding them. And I like to understand the movie. I'm a very logical person. So Inland Empire also didn't impress me, but I will admit it was somewhat successful in the way that it did make me interested in its ideas, and it did make me feel things at times, and there are scenes in it which I think will stay with me for a very long time. I think the setup for the story and the initial 40 minutes or so are quite fascinating, but then the longer the movie goes, and it goes for full 3 hours by the way, which is pretty damn long, the sort of worse and more nonsensical it becomes. I like the performances of most of the actors, but mainly Laura Dern. I think she's very good in this film. I liked the sound design of the movie. I liked how sometimes it is able to transport you into these nightmare realities which genuinely scared me and fucked with my head. There are scenes in here which are really terrifying, and others which are very unnerving and disturbing, like the conversation scene between Laura Dern and Grace Zabriskie early on, which for my money is the best scene of the movie. Theoretically, nothing happens in it, but because of the way it's shot and edited, and because of Zabriskie's performance, it genuinely feels like an encounter between a human and a demon. However, I do think that there's a lot of fat in the movie. A lot of it feels unfocused and messy. There are entire subplots which I don't have an idea what they're meant to be about. The woman with the screwdriver, the husband joining the Polish circus, the fucking rabbit people television show or whatever that is. And look, it's not just me. Lynch admitted that the movie was essentially made scene by scene, starting with the psychologist's conversation scene and then kind of adding more stuff from there and figuring out later how to connect all of it. And also Laura Dern herself stated that she has no idea what the movie is about. So it's definitely deliberately cryptic. And you know, the way I read it, again, it's about a person being lost in nightmares, but I think that's only a part of it. And I don't know what the rest is supposed to be about, or mean, or even if it can mean anything. So, good performances, some interesting ideas, and some genuinely great individual scenes here and there. But on the whole, it is bloated nonsense and a mess that exhausted me completely. If you like Lynch's brand of surrealism, I think you'll probably love it, but I didn't.